Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Young Greens of Ohio livestream. My name is Austin Bayshore. I am the volunteer coordinator for the Ohio Green Party, as well as the international co-chair of the Green Party of the United States. I'm a member of the Ohio Green Party Central Committee, representing Portage County and Kent. I'm joined today on our live stream by Marco and Christina. Marco, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Marco Aiello. I am the co-chair for the Ohio Young Greens. I am also in school right now for political science and history, where I'm starting my career in media, where I'm currently doing writing. My first project was interviewing Marcus Bettinger, which he was the Democratic candidate for the Dayton City uh, Commissioner. As he lost his election, and I'm looking forward to doing another interview to talk about his failures and what he can do better.
Thank you, Marco. Christina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name is Christina. I am the U.S. Senate candidate running against a corrupted machine of duopoly in New Jersey. And my opponent and all my opponents, I'm the only candidate in New Jersey not taking any mega donors, corporate, or PAC money. I am going against everyone who's endorsed parties that we are all against. They are funding Israel, not listening to the ceasefire. They are not helping with homelessness. They aren't helping with mental health. They've had the opportunity to make New Jersey a universal healthcare state, not a countrywide, but they're not following any of their campaign promises. And we are, well, me and the team, my team, we are fighting for the state, well, the citizens in the state and the country as well. And we have big plans internationally to help rebuild the international failures and broken promises and trouble that our current administration has caused. And how do we go overseas and become better diplomatic and re-earn trust in politics, and also re-earn trust with people overseas that we have burned bridges with and we are currently burning bridges with.
It's extremely important
Yes.
for that international perspective. As you may know, Trump burned a lot of bridges, and Biden
Yes.
is not interested at all in fixing those
Yeah.
burned bridges, especially in East Asia, promoting a new Cold War with China.
Yes.
International sanctions on North Korea to the point where you can't even import baby formula into that country. Militarizing islands in Japan, kicking out whole native populations. It's a really scary time. So now more than ever, we need a serious peace candidate in the Senate. And I really thank you for your bid to run for public office in the US, because it's not easy, and it's even harder going as a Green.
It really is. And then because I started as running as a Democrat, and they pushed out all progressive Dems from the election in June 6th, 2023. And the progressive Dems, they took pictures because they actually separated them on the ballot, and they put them into little boxes where you couldn't vote for an individual person. This is why ranked choice voting is very important. You had to choose the entire group. So you were either choosing corporate Dems or progressive Dems. And everyone that was progressive Dems, if you picked them, there'd be so many seats empty. So it forced a lot of people to pick the corporate Dems as a bunch, so all the seats would be filled. And I've shared on my platform multiple times the picture. So, and then I spoke to the New Jersey DNC, and they told me that they were going to continue to support Menendez, who's on his second federal trial, and his murder cover up instead of, oh yeah, yeah, the footage got released and everything, but he's still a great candidate, right? to New Jersey. And so I'm going against somebody that's sick and a machine of people that's sick and corrupted, that they think that this is the best representative for New Jersey. So it also screams volumes on the amount of corruption, because I know if he goes down, he's taking a whole bunch of other politicians with them, and they're not going to want that. That's why they're uplifting him.
Murder charges. That's so wild.
Oh my God, it was so sad. It came out, it was 2018. His wife ran someone over. It was a hit and run, and they like covered it up. And the police, the Democratic Party, and the footage got leaked out because the police said, "I'm here for a favor. We're going to take care of it." It was a whole bunch of messed up stuff. And like you're watching it and you're just like, is this like a TV show? Is this a reality show? Like, is this a horror show? No, this is real life. This is the politicians in New Jersey.
We had an instance in Ohio where the Ohio Republican Party got bribed $60 million and to bail out nuclear power plants that are 50 years old and still not finished with construction. So
That's horrible.
in any normal democracy, the Ohio Republican Party would have been banned and every single one of their leadership would have been thrown in prison. We are not a democracy. We're a two-party dictatorship of capital.
Yeah, I call it Unopoly because it's one like they both work for each other, not the voters.
Well, we're very glad you're here today.
Yes.
Welcome. Today we'll be discussing local election results from earlier this month in Ohio. In Ohio, we had issue 1. Marco, would you like to introduce issue 1 to everybody?
Issue 1, pretty sure it was the abortion, right?
Yes.
Which abortion is a popular policy in most states. It will most likely win if you put it on the ballot. It allowed access for all women's reproductive rights. Ohio voted 57% of the vote voted yes to put it in the Ohio Constitution, and then I will be there until it will be there when the Senate officializes the vote, but they most likely have said that they won't. So
it's really frustrating.
Wait, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So you guys voted yes, majority says yes, and they're saying they're not going to listen to the voters?
Yes, the
Senate
majority leader in Ohio, for the Ohio State Senate, said he has no plans to officialize the election results to bring up the final task is to finalize the election results for the Senate and the Secretary of State. Both Republican Secretary of States and state senators, state Senate majority leader has said they're not interested in finalizing the election results.
That's disgusting.
But yeah, back in August, we also had issue 1. And this issue 1 for August 2023 was to change because in Ohio, we have the ability to pass citizens referendums. Surprising, West Virginia doesn't have this for some reason. I learned that yesterday. But this August issue 1 was to change the requirement for citizens referendum to 60% to pass. Right now, it always has been 50% plus 1 to pass majority rules. However, the Ohio Republicans, because the abortion amendment was introduced for November, snuck in a vote in August, citizens referendum, to change the requirement for a vote to pass citizens referendum to 60%. This failed. The voters voted it down hard, 57% to 42%, rejecting the change in our Constitution to where citizens referendums have to have 60% to pass. Not only did this fail by 57%, but the abortion amendment passed by 57%. The legalization of marijuana also passed by 57%. So has the status of abortion been affected in New Jersey specifically? And how has your campaign dealt with that?
So the problem that we have here is more the economic issue that's causing people to be pushed to get abortions. It's very easily accessible, which is great because I'm very pro-choice, but the problem is because I work in the communities and I work in mental health, is there are many families that don't want to get abortion, but because they can't afford rent and food and their bills, they're forced to get abortions, or if they go forward with the pregnancy, they know that their job is going to fire them, so they're forced to get abortions. So the issue we're tackling is making it economically equal for all. So if you want to have a child, you can have a child without the pressure of termination. If you, whatever reason you need to terminate, then you can go out and you can go terminate with your doctor, because that's a private conversation and that's a medical conversation to have between the individual, the doctor, and the doctor and the individual and the partner, if they're involved or not. And then the other issue that I do have in New Jersey, and I've debated a lot of people, is that there are Republicans and very extremists still that believe that people are at 9 months terminating their pregnancies. And I'm just like, at that point, if it's in the third trimester, that baby is wanted and that baby's dead at that point, and then the baby's not leaving the body. And the doctor, to save the mom's life, has to go in, remove it. That is not an easy process, and that's painful because that was a wanted baby, and they're turning people's trauma into fear, and they're spreading false information, and it's very horrendous that people really believe that. It's disturbing.
Yeah, third trimester abortions aren't a thing unless it's absolutely medically necessary.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people are fear mongering this, but how has the Green Party approached issue one, the legalization, the Right for Reproductive Freedom Act in Ohio? Marco?
We have really supported abortion. These are policies we've probably held for, like you said, 30 years. Even the voters support these policies, but they don't seem to be behind the Green Party, which is an issue within itself. But we overall we support it. We organize around it. It's an issue of people getting behind the Green Party.
Christina, as you saw in Ohio, 57% of Ohioans supported women's right to choose in the medical sphere. This has been a Green Party policy for the past 30 years. So what do you think this has to say about Green Party politics in the mainstream?
How I present Green Party politics is we're a very common sense party. Like, we listen to the majority. We are a democracy, and we don't let our feelings and our biases get in the way. So if the majority, and that's why I like ranked choice voting, because if the majority rules on something, we could go with what the majority rules on. But we are for productive freedom. We are very progressive. We actually care, and we don't take corporate PAC or mega donor money, and we're very clean and we're not corrupted.
This goes to show Green Party policies, specifically on women's reproductive freedom, even in a deep red state like Ohio, and even getting darker red every election cycle, these policies are popular. The other issue was issue two, the decriminalization of marijuana. What was the result of that decriminalization effort in Ohio? Marco?
56% of people voted yes to allow marijuana, but there is a passage where they will not take off people's criminal records of marijuana in the past or release any prisoners. So that is another issue to fight for with itself. But overall, it is a good way to bring in tax money because it is a 10% tax. So Ohio is bringing in money, which I think will fund schools, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of it goes to schools. So it will affect children's education with a better quality education. We just hope it goes to better pay to teachers and a better curriculum.
Absolutely. What is the status of recreational marijuana in New Jersey?
So it's passed, but a few months ago they tried to start a movement to actually undo what they passed. So it's actually recreational. So after they passed it, I guess their donors were against it. And a lot of other issues got raised up because it presented the racial inequality and the structural inequality, because in order to open up a recreational facility, one, you have to have like $20,000 to $30,000. It's non-refundable, and you have to pay that up front, and they will determine whether you're capable of having a license to run the business or not. And the people that have been impacted legally, they're still in jail for it. They're not released. They're not getting expungements. It's still on the criminal record, and it's very disheartening because when we fought for it, we wanted it to increase, increase taxes, well, not increase taxes, but increase funding to the community, but we wanted it to be equal for all and equal opportunity for all, and they're only really catering to the people who have money and status that can open up the facilities. So it's caused a lot of issues that we're still speaking on, and we're still challenging them, the administration. And but I'll stick on marijuana because we're going into a whole other the war on drugs. But they actually started, I'm not going to be surprised if they try to secretly change the laws on this, because they actually started being more aggressive because they're moving toward private prisons in New Jersey. So they want to put people into prisons to work for corporations. So they've been actually weaponizing a whole bunch of things and saying this is illegal and that's illegal. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to secretly do that in New Jersey. Yeah.
We had a similar issue of legalizing marijuana about 10 years ago in Ohio. However, the Green Party actually opposed this plan to legalize marijuana in Ohio because it only would have allowed about 10 growers to actually grow the crop here, thus creating a weed monopoly. So the Ohio Green Party actually campaigned for a no vote on the legalization of marijuana quite a few years ago. However, this one allows for recreational possession and use of marijuana. In 2018, there was a citizens initiative, ballot initiative, for an independent process for congressional redistricting. And it passed with 75% in Ohio. However, since 2018, this citizens amendment has yet to be upheld. The citizens initiative has yet to be upheld to end the partisan redrawing of congressional districts. Recently, the Ohio Republican Party and the leaders have stated that they are unwilling to finalize the results of the abortion amendment, women's health amendment, and the legalization of recreational marijuana amendment. What does this have to say about Ohio Republican lawmakers and legislatures in the state? Marco?
These Republicans are very undemocratic, and I think they are taking advantage of how Joe Biden is not very popular in the state. He is under 30 points. I don't think the state will ever see Democrats, like a popular Democrat, like a Democrat never be voted here again, when it regards to president. I think Republicans are taking advantage of that by doing these undemocratic things like gerrymandering, and trying to remove and add undemocratic things to the Constitution. So they're very scummy in the way how their tactics. And I think if the Democrats want to win these states back, they got to grow a backbone and be, I'd say, scummy back to the Republicans.
Exactly. Christina, you in New Jersey have had your fair share of scummy Republican governors and lawmakers.
Oh, and Democrats too.
And Democrats too. But what does this have to, as an outsider looking in, what does this have to show about the Ohio Republican Party?
They're very unpatriotic and they do not follow the Constitution. And it's very disturbing that we have people in office that do not listen to the voters. And to follow up with Margot, but the Biden administration, because it's not just Biden, it's his entire administration, they destroy the entire Democratic Party. They are not going to be forgiven by a lot of people. And this is really time to focus on bringing in new parties like the Green Party, to build and focus on parties that actually listen to the community and the voters. And because the administration currently just everyone's following suit. You may, like with the protests, we're protesting on one thing, they're ignoring it. And we're seeing other elected failures, that's what I call them, elected failures, engaging in the same practices. So it's time for new leadership and a new party to come in.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes, completely. Next, we had a local election, mayor for Bowling Green in Ohio. Result, he got 26% of the vote for Bowling Green, which is over 2,109 votes for Green in a local election. Again, congratulations to Joe DeMar and his rather successful run for Bowling Green mayor, giving people an independent Green choice and a voice in their local election. Were there any outstanding New Jersey local elections this year that you would like to spotlight?
You know what? There were a few Green candidates. Some on the school board, I forgot what county it was in. They won. It was three green candidates that won. And I think I have to check. We had quite a few. I think another person won in the Green Party in New Jersey, but one person won. They went from a 9% the last time that they ran up to a 40%, and it was a very, very close race. So and this was for town council, so he almost flipped the entire town green, which was very exciting. So we know next time the election comes around, we're going to be able to flip that one green.
Absolutely, that's very exciting, very exciting. In New Jersey, what's your ballot access status?
So for me personally, the Democrats put 9 people against me to siphon votes because they're so threatened by the Green Party. I have to get 12. I can't start collecting signatures until January. And I have to get, I want to say 1,900 or 1,000 signatures in January. So the signatures are doable, but they're trying to, because when someone signs, they can't double sign. So they can't sign for me and then another candidate. So I have to get to the person before them because they're trying to force the vote, and they're not trying to create an equal access to all candidates, which is very disheartening and also very disturbing. But I do have to say New Jersey is going to have an entire full ballot line because we have ballot lines. We don't have, ranked choice voting, and we're trying to destroy the line, abolish the line, so we can vote for who we want to vote for. But we're going to have whoever the presidential candidate is, myself, and 12 Green congressional candidates. So we're going to have an entire Green machine in 2024, which I'm very excited about.
That's so exciting. So in Ohio specifically, our ballot access was revoked in 2018. And Ohio requires 1% valid signatures of the previous governor election. Luckily for us, the last governor election was low turnout, but still that's 45,000 valid signatures. And the Elections Commission will only validate about 50% of those. So if you do the math, we'll be needing 95 to 100,000 petition signatures to regain ballot access. And that's nearly impossible. Even the Libertarian Party can't do that.
That's so disturbing.
So we do opt to run candidates as independents, though. But we do require our independent candidates to say officially endorsed by the Green Party. So that they won't be green on the ballot, but all of their promotional materials and their campaign colors will all be green as well.
When they run as independents, endorsed, how many signatures do they need?
For statewide offices, it's 5,000 signatures. However, as a political party, statewide office for a minor party, it's 36.
Signatures?
Yes. 36 for a minor party statewide office. Independent, it's 5,000, which is much more doable than the 95,000 required to reform the party. But again, those people who vote for independent Greens do nothing for ballot access. Even if we get 5% in the governor election, it does nothing. We can't get the Green Party ballot access back, which sucks, but it's the game we got to play.
You know what? Down the road, like if we win New Jersey, we can travel, we can help build up parties in other states, and that's really the goal. Is to bring this countrywide, and the goal of New Jersey Green Party is we get ourselves and we're going to build up this entire candidacy. We win in 2024, then we build up the entire party moving forward because we're already in office. Now they can't do anything.
Yeah, very exciting. Last question for today. What's next? What's next for the Ohio local elections? What's next for the Green Party? What's next for these ballot initiatives that we passed? Marco?
I think the Green Party really just needs to be organizing and pushing candidates no matter what. If we're going to win or not, the most important thing is to put our name out there and get the people noticed about all the laws that are made to keep minor parties down and just show them the corruption between the two-party system we have now. That is the best thing we can do right now is just organize.
Organize, exactly. Christina, what's next?
Um, Town halls, phone banking, canvassing, and moving forward with taking on the machine and challenging people. Right now I'm challenging Netanyahu as much as I can, and I'm trying to like just spread that message. But encouraging also Green Party National to really get into the local candidates and really uplift and fund, because if we can't organize on a national level, how are we able to build the party on a lower level? And they've actually, I'm not the only candidate. They actually started listening to, there's another congressperson, someone interested in running for mayor for 2026, and a whole bunch of other smaller candidates. They've been opening the door for feedback, and they've been really, they're actually starting to uplift us. And I encourage, I don't know if either of you guys are part of the national chain, but I would encourage you guys to get involved too if you're not.
Absolutely. If you want green, you got to go green, right?
Yes.
These elections, even in deep red Ohio, have proven Green Party policies that we've supported for the past 30, 35 years are popular. If you want green, you got to go green. There's no other way. If a lot of Ohioans are very tired of voting red but getting, or voting green, voting blue but getting red.
Yes.
And a lot of local elections in Ohio, as you've seen, are one-party elections. The Republicans do not contest city councils in Columbus or Akron or Cleveland. The Democrats do not contest elections in Western Ohio or Southeastern Ohio. They pick and choose where they run and what positions they run for. Even on the state level, they say, we run for this Supreme Court district if you run for the city mayor. If you run for the city mayor, we'll prop up 3 city councilors in this city. If you run for the 3 city councilors here, we'll run for this little tiny farming village mayor there. And it's really a political game, and none of us are invited. But I want to thank our guests for tuning in and joining us today, Marco from the Ohio Green Party and Christina from the Green Party of New Jersey. If you are interested in joining the Green Party of Ohio, please visit ohiogreens.org/join. If you are not in Ohio, we encourage you to join your Green Party anywhere in the world you may be, GPUS/volunteer, or you can find your national Green Party at globalgreens.org. Until next time, I want to thank our guests, and we will see you again. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.